Welcome in. It is day 157, and you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. And today we're going to be jumping into a game that I am not even going to attempt to put anything over here. I'll have to bring up a picture for you. The game is called Cheeky Monkey. The concept of the game is you have a bag that's going to be filled with a bunch of chips. These chips are going to range from 8 different animals, from numbers of 3 of them all the way up to 10 of them. On your turn, you're going to pull out a chip, and you're going to place it down. And then you have the option. You can end your turn, or you can grab another one. If you grab another one, you're going to grab it out of the bag, and the first thing you do is compare it to the chip you just drew. If it's the same chip, you've ended your turn, everything goes in the bag, you're done. If it is different chips, you're going to place it on top of that chip. And now you have the option again. Do you want to keep them, or do you want to draw from the bag again? You're going to do this repetitively, and the only exception will be if you pull out that number 10, which is a monkey. If you pull out a monkey, you have the option to switch it with the top of somebody else's pile. And when you pull it from that pile, it'll take the place of the monkey on the top of your pile, and your monkey will take the place of them on the top of their pile. So you'll continue to do this until either you break. Now, if you pick the monkey, you switch it with, say, their elephant. It's okay to put an elephant on top of an elephant. You're allowed to do this during a switch. However, if then you pull another elephant, you put everything back, which includes the elephant you stole from them. They now own your monkey. You now own the elephant. So you do this till you're done, and when you're finished, all the chips you drew go onto your pile. So you have a main pile in front of you, and that is a safe pile. Then goes to the next person, they go around. When it gets back to you, you start again. You do a pile in front, and when you choose to end, whether it's that you lose and they go back in, or you end, that pile will go on top of your prior pile. So you continue to do this until eventually the bag is empty. When the bag is empty, you're then going to figure out who wins based on who has the most of each animal. So for instance, one of the rarest animals in the game is the elephant. There's only 3 of them. So if somebody has 2 elephants, they get the elephant. But if there's a tie, if there's a 3-player game and 3 different people have 1, well, you're going to have to break it down and figure out based on, what do the rules say? Do you guys get equal amount of points? It's not often that you run into a tie situation. That being said, why don't we jump into our 7 categories and really talk about where this game lands for us. When it comes to the art, I actually really like everything that comes with the pieces, and the box is really nice. My biggest disappointment with this game was when I bought it, I did not realize somehow I ended up buying it where I didn't get the box. Instead, I got an actual monkey that everything fit into the back of. So you pull out your cards for how it plays, you leave the pieces back there, and you pull them out of the monkey. It's cute, but it was, for me, not a win. It was a big screw up. I wished I had sent it back and asked for the box version instead because I didn't like the monkey. So since then, I've actually gotten rid of the monkey. I gave the stuffed animal to my daughter, and I just used all of the pieces in a basic bag, and I set it up that way. There's a good chance that one day I will end up investing to get that box again because I think the box is worth it. It's a really nice box. It's a thumbs up. When it comes to the pieces, you have 2 styles of pieces. The pieces being pulled from the bag are like plastic poker chips. They're a little bit stronger than those cheap versions, but they're not as good as a good poker chip. You're not going to be getting yourself something that's going to truly match up with a poker chip from a casino. But while you may not have a clay poker chip style, when it comes to the plastic, it's really good. Now, I have had a piece break on me, but again, because I don't have the box and it was all in the bag, it meant that when I tossed the bag into a corner, I didn't realize, oh, that's not a good design, and it just shattered one of the pieces. And this was also almost a decade after I got it. So for me, it's worthwhile. I think the pieces are good. It's a thumbs up for the components. Your price. So the Cheeky Monkey is not unavailable, but it's not as available as I'd like. It might be in 1 out of 5 game stores. I don't think I've ever seen this in a Barnes & Noble or a Target. And it's available online. You definitely can get it, but it's probably in that 30 range. It's not too much, but it's just a little bit on the edge. If it was available but at 30, I'd say sure, but because it's not as available as you'd like, I have to give it a thumbs down. It's a little hard to find, and it's just on that cusp of expensive for me. Your difficulty. So the game's all up to 1, your memory, and 2, the odds. Can you remember what people have? You can't look through their pile. They can look through their pile, but you can't look through their pile. So how many of an animal is left? If you've drawn a hyena, how many hyenas were there? I remember that you had one and you had one. Did you have one? You're trying to do that math out to figure out, should you keep going? For me, the difficulty is great because I think that there's enough there that an experienced player will definitely want to play this, but a beginner and a kid will really enjoy it too. It's a thumbs up. Your replayability. This game is possible to play back to back on the same day. It's not too long. The game could take a while, but in general, I think this is like 30 minutes max. So I think you can play this twice in a row. But it's one that could definitely get pulled out on the seasonal type setup. I could see this being one people pull out for a Christmas or a Thanksgiving day because it's fun enough. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up there. Your keys to victory. So your keys to victory are just not only trying to not put back in the bag, but it's targeting certain animals. You might make the decision, I'm really after the points from the 3 and the 4 and the 5. So whenever I get it, an elephant or a walrus or a giraffe, I'm going to end immediately. I don't care if it's the first one I pull, I'm done. I'm going to build up that supply and make sure I win those small ones. If that's what you want to do, that's great. They may not be a lot of points, but they're easy to win. So you could possibly snag a couple of those early and say, hey, by my third turn, I had gotten, 2 of the elephants. I've got those 3 points locked up. Now I don't care. If I draw an elephant, I can keep going. So there are keys to victory. It's a thumbs up. Is it unique? So at the end of the day, it's a bag builder, or I guess a reverse bag builder. It's a bag remover. And it's pretty basic, but I honestly don't know of another game that does this. It's fun, but I can't think of a game where I'm truly pulling from the bag and competing and gambling in that way. I think I am going to give it unique. It's a thumbs up. Overall, what do I think? I think if you have kids and you're trying to teach them about animals, about odds, stuff like that, it's a fun game to pull out. And at the same time, you can just enjoy it. It doesn't have to be about learning. So it's a good borderline game for me for that. And I think that it's a game that can definitely be introduced for beginners and even for experienced players. So for me, I think that this is a game that you should target to add to your collection if you've got kids or if you've got friends or family who aren't as big into gaming, because it won't scare them away. But even if you have a few that are, they still would be okay with playing it. So that's just my opinion. Maybe this is not the kind of social game you'd want to play with your family and friends, or maybe you don't think your game group would like this at all because it's just too easy. And that's fine. It's what fits for you and for your group. Well, it has been day 157, and we've been speaking about the game Cheeky Monkey. And you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.